Woo! Popcorn, y'all. Yes, I'm back. I'm back. Jeez, blood. Let's go. Woo! Hey guys, it is the last day of February. Just an hour to March, and it's like, I have to do this. You know, it's been calling me. My fans have been like, yo, Modenine, you better get going. You better hold it down, man. You know, you're not known to start something and never finish it. So I'm like, I had 50 episodes of this podcast, right? I had 50 episodes to do. And I stopped at number 32. I'm like, man, that's a shame, man. I need to hook you guys up with number 33, episode 33 of Modenine's podcast, The Life of Modenine. Popcorn, The Life of Modenine. And today we're going to talk about, what we're going to talk about? Something that has been like trending, but for me, it's just a normal topic that I just talk about. We're going to talk about OGs. To some people that's kryptonite. Now, like me personally, I do not like when people call me OG, because when Nigerian people call you OG, like I got a name. My name is Modenine. You call me Modi, Modo, Modenine, or Polymath. You know, OG is not my name. It is not my name. With all due respect, I know some people are trying to respect you, and some people are laughing at you. You know the parable about the Ethiopian peasant, that he bows down to greet the master, but while he bows down, he farts. So it's, to me, I feel like same thing. They call you OG, they call you legend, they call you veteran, man. It's old to me, man. Just call me Modenine, man. I'm good with Modenine. I might start blocking people for saying that, man. You know, I'm good with Modenine. I'm comfortable in my skin. I'm comfortable. So I just beg people, please, when you come on my page, just call me Modenine, man. I'm good, man. I'm good. You don't have to prove to anybody that you know me by calling me my government name. You do not have to, you know, call me an OG that I'm respecting you. I know you Gen Zs, you have no respect. It's not respect. Trust me, I know. It is not respect. Like, man, these days it's crazy, man. You get dragged for no reason these days, man. It's not respect. So for me, I just go by the name Modenine, and that's it, man. I want you guys to just call me Modenine. I'm comfortable like that. So we spent more than 2 minutes just rambling about what name to call me, just because this episode is about OGs. I'm going to start it off by saying, fun fact, you guys know that Daddy Shoki, I think his real name is John Odafe. Like, there was a guy working at Vanguard, right? Back in the day, when my brother first started working at Vanguard, I think his name was Amechi from Ajegunle. Shout out to Amechi from Ajegunle. I don't know where you are, but shout out to you. He was my brother's friend. So he was the one that was telling us about John. And that John happened to be Daddy Shoki. And he said Daddy Shoki was a rapper. He was in a group called Pretty Busy Boys. So I think there was a guy called Sexy Pretty. I don't know if I'm getting his name right. But yeah, Sexy Pretty. There was a guy called Daddy Fresh. Shout out to Daddy Fresh. There was Cashman Davis. And then Daddy Shoki, who later became the most popular guy. You know, like, he was popping. But not for rapping, for doing his own. Welcome, Daddy Shoki, welcome. Welcome, Daddy Shoki, welcome. You know? Ajegule. So, yeah. People didn't know that. Like, Daddy Shoki started as a rapper. And he was in a group called Pretty Busy Boys. Back then, Festac was booming. Rappers were not going to the studio, because going to recording studio, it means that you have to spend a lot of money. You have to pay for the studio session, you have to pay for the engineer, and you have to pay for the producer. And most Nigerian producers were not all that, hip hops. They didn't really know how to produce hip hop. The drums were funny. That's one thing I could say. Back then, the drums were funny. So imagine paying all that money only to come up with something that sounds. So most of these rappers, you know what they used to do? Most of these guys in Festac, they'll go to a DJ's shop. We had in Agboju, we had a DJ called High Groove. DJ High Groove, Eddie Finn. Shout out to DJ Eddie Finn. We don't forget. We know the guys, man. We know the guys that represent. DJ Eddie Finn, he represented, man. DJ Jimmy Jack, of course, number one. Odo Street in Obalende. Number one, DJ Jimmy Jack. He used to do these block parties where guys would just come and rap. Shout out to Jimmy, man. Jimmy saw it before all these guys, jumped on it and plagiarized the arts. But yeah, so we had High Groove. That was in Agboju. So Festac boys used to go to High Groove and they'll give him some money and then he'll play instrumentals, and then he had a mic. He had a show mic, SM57 or something. A show mic, just a normal show mic. So they will record their demos. These guys will record their demos. This was in the 90s. They'll record their demos in the DJ shop. So they would have rehearsed. By their group, they would have rehearsed seriously, because you only have one mic. And once you finish rapping, you can't make mistakes, man. Most of the times the rappers make mistakes, they just leave it because they don't even have time. You're paying the DJ and he's gonna tell you, man, I'm gonna play 2 songs. I'm just gonna play them straight. I'm not gonna go back and play it again. There's nothing like a second take. You have to kill it in one take. So most of these guys, they practice and rehearse. They rehearse for like days, weeks sometimes, and then they go to the DJ shop and go and do their thing. Like I've heard several of these recordings. I've heard Plantation Boys rap over some beats where Two-Face had this infamous lyric called "Smiggity Smoke called the weed up." I was like, man, you bit that's effects. Yeah. Well, Two-Face could sing, man. That Baby Give Me Good Loving. I first heard it on one of them type tapes. It was on a cassette. So I heard so many of these cassettes, even though me, myself, I didn't even have the money to go pay a DJ to do that. What I used to do was I would have two tape decks, right? One playing the instrumental and one on record. So the one playing the instrumental, I play it, and then the one on record, I put it, and it's recording anything going in. So that's how I used to make my demos. And funny enough, because I lived in Ijaniki era, it was like Yan era, it was like far from anywhere. The place was really quiet. Crib where I was in was really quiet, so I got the best. I got some good quality, demos. Took them to school, played them. People didn't even know I was the one. Sometimes I'll play a track. I didn't even have instrumentals. I will play a track, and the track will have a little bit of instrumental at the end. I'll do a little rap at the end. I remember doing that, and then people thinking that rap was part of it, and they were like, I've not heard this version of this track, and I'll just be laughing. They didn't know it was me. So yeah, back in the day, it was a struggle. Right now, everybody has a computer in their house. You can even record tracks on your phone. It's easy for you guys. You have YouTube. Then there was no YouTube. If you couldn't get your music on radio, nobody will know you. If you couldn't get on TV, nobody will know you. We didn't even know the next thing about getting on TV. The people that we saw on TV, people, clapperboard, the rappers, I didn't even know where it was. I was like, man, where's this clapperboard thing? Olisa Adeboa was the host. And he was like one of the biggest hip-hop personalities in hip-hop, Nigerian hip-hop back then. So, and that was kind of like the same year Storm started. And yeah, like Magnum would say, like Diasonic, he said, I used to, do you know what? For me, like just like what Magnum said, I used to write rhymes to tracks, even with the lyrics on it. Like I'll play Fugees, they're rapping, I didn't have the instrumental, so I'll just be rapping on a track, just using it to write rhymes on a track that already had vocals. I had a way of shutting out the vocals, so I thought I was the only one that did it. Now Diasonic said he does it, man. Like, damn. We were doing all sorts of things. It was difficult to get instrumentals. Trust me, it was really difficult. And we didn't really have the money to go all the way to Opalende to go and record instrumentals from DJ Jimmy Jack. Just a few people could do that. We didn't have the money to do that. So the OGs suffered, man. I remember going to Festac one day and I'm chilling with my friend Ifine. His brother was a member of Deadly Underground. But you see, Ifine and his junior brother, they didn't look they didn't look alike. And they didn't even talk to each other. They'll just walk past each other. I asked him one day, I was like, why don't you ever talk to your brother? And he was like, man, he said, I don't mind him, man, he's a fool. I found out his brother was a rapper. His brother was part of Deadly Underground. Yep, his brother was part of Deadly Underground. Majid was the second guy. I've forgotten his brother's name. El Hovashah, yeah, he called himself El Hovashah. I don't know where he got that name from, but yeah, that wasn't the name he started with, but yeah, that's the name he ended up with. El Hovashah, Deadly Underground. Majid and El Hovashah back then. And they were they were hardcore. They were just like, almost like a Das Effects with no diggity. So yes, I got to know them and some other Festac guys. Then I just sent J Gangster. J Gangster was a member of Rough, Rugged and Raw. J Gangster was a member of Rough, Rugged and Raw. So I used to see J Gangster and we got talking one day and I found out that Idris used to come around. Idris Abdul Karim. He used to come around. They used to call him Mr. T. Mr. T or Mr. Remedy Turayo. I think that was his name. That's why he called himself Mr. T. So all those shows at Deals, they'll go there, rock shows at Deals in Festac. You know, this was before Shakomo. This was before Shakomo. It was before Shakomo because he was just a regular guy. You can ask anybody, you can fact check this. Ask anybody, he used to come to Festac, you know. Even LD Extra Large, all the way from Jos, went to Festac, and he even battled Defo Clan. Shout out to Rabbi. He battled Defo Clan. They even told me about it. It was Cyclone. Shout out to Cyclone. Cyclone left to Canada. He went to Canada, I think in like 96 or 7 or so. He went to Canada early. So I only saw him for a short period. So it was, Defo Clan was Dark Eye. Dark Eye was a choir guy. I think he was schooling in Kano. Rabbi, Alibi, Boozman, BL, Azados, Cyclone. There were about 7 or 8 of them. So yeah, there were about 7 or 8 of them. Defo Clan. And Rabbi was a very organized person. Rest in peace, Rabbi. Rest in peace, Rabbi. I just got a call early this morning, like 7 o'clock, and Buddha told me that it was actually, I didn't even answer it because I was tired. Then Paul called me after that. When Paul called me, I know these guys are linked. So I was like, for Buddha to call 7 o'clock, then Paul to call like 7:30, I just knew something had happened. Paul went straight to business. He just said, yo, man, we lost Rabbi. I was like, damn, I knew it. So yeah, sad thing, you know. I saw Rabbi when he was a good leader, man. He was just like, similar to Sound Sultan, rest in peace, Sound Sultan. You know, people used to come around and Rabbi used to like kind of bring people up, young rappers, you know, talk to them. Everybody wanted to join Defo Clan, but it wasn't that easy. Another person that was always around Rabbi's crib that time was Kadim the Magnificent. He didn't live too far away, but he was always, you know, in Rabbi's crib. And you know, the Magnificent was part of a crew called Nitro. Him and Big Time Luciano. Luciano was the Ghanaian, but he spoke Hausa. So they used to join on themselves like, nah, you whack, nah, you whack, nah, you a small boy, or fair cool, you know. So I didn't even know that Nitro was part of Bomb Rush Squad. Yes, they were part of Bomb Rush Squad. That is Rough, Rugged and Raw Squad. I didn't know that because Kadim was always at Rabbi's place and we used to meet there a lot. So I thought that Nitro, at first I thought Nitro was part of, I thought they were part of Bomb Rush Squad. Now let me tell you guys something about Bomb Rush Squad. Bomb Rush Squad, Bomb Rush. That is Rough, Rugged and Raw and all their affiliates. Rest in peace, Lyrical Undertaker, Murphy. You know, I don't even know how I'm just remembering all these names. You know, we had Moses X. We had Def Genius. Def Genius wasn't even a member. He was just the junior brother of Moses X. And Rough, Rugged and Raw. J Gangster, B Right, and Hangman. Now that was a tough crew to join because you have to go to their meetings. They use one of these schools. Is it Amor or Dolphin? One of these schools though. They use one of these schools probably on a Saturday. Their meetings are orderly, just like Defo Clan. Like, you know, they were really organized. And I remember I attended. I'm probably the only non-member to attend one of their meetings. And that was so cool. We were so cool that they allowed me to attend one of their meetings. I just sat down somewhere quietly. And I think that was the meeting where Def Genius wanted to be a member of Bomb Rush Squad. So he stood up, introduced himself, and that's Moses X's brother. Moses X is a member. So he rapped. Boy, it was dope. Def Genius was dope. It was really dope. He kind of sounded like Ali Vegas. If you know Ali Vegas, the young boy from Queens, yeah, Def Genius reminded me of Ali Vegas, a very young Nas. Or Ali Vegas, but closer to Ali Vegas. So he rapped, dope, super dope. And then they now asked, if you do not want Def Genius to be part of Bomb Rush Squad, put your hands up. Lyrical Undertaker put 2 hands up. And once one person disagrees, someone said you cannot be late. That one is that if you're late, you're going back now. You're going to pay a fine. Lyrical Undertaker put 2 hands up. He put 2 hands up. Now, for those that don't know, I'm on Instagram live. I'm going to delete the live, but this podcast, I'm going to put it out. It's definitely going to be on YouTube, but I'm going to delete the live. But I'm on live, like talking to my people, man. They said Diasonic said Deadly Underground used to remind me of Illegal back in the days when I was a teenager. Ha ha ha. Well, you can argue that, but they reminded me more of Deadly Underground. It's kind of like Rotten Rascals, but there were only 2 of them. They had that. They were definitely in New York. There were definitely some New York sounding cats. You know, there was a show that Eddie Finn did in Festac. No, I think he did it in Agboju or so. I went for the show. I remember that day clearly. I went for the show, and that was the first time I saw Rough, Rugged and Raw perform. They had a lot of energy. FaZe performed. FaZe, I can even remember the instrumental that FaZe. I think FaZe rapped. FaZe was a rapper then though, but he did a little singing though. FaZe was wearing chinos, baggy chinos, man. I was like, who's this skinny boy, man? The guy could actually sing, you know? And he was rapping. Lyrical Orge, that's what his name was. FaZe's rap name was Lyrical Orge. One guy said, now the names they kill me for here. FaZe's rap name was Lyrical Orge. For real though. Lyrical Orge. And you know, his name is, for those that don't know, FaZe's name is Oji. Chibuzo Oji. Sorry for putting your name out there, man, but hey, His name is public knowledge, man. Everybody knows it. But yeah, so he called himself Lyrical Orge. All types of guys rapping. And I also remember one other show. The first show that I saw Remedies perform live was in 1997. It was at Powerhouse in Ikeja. Plantation Boys performed at that show too. Blackface and Two-Face. Then FaZe wasn't even a member of the group. Like I said on one of the other podcasts, I talked about how FaZe got into the group. So I'm not going to go into that. How FaZe joined the group. But yeah, FaZe was always around. He was always around. And he has always been dope. He was a dope rapper though. People don't know, Two-Face too was a rapper. Blackface was more of a rapper than a singer. So nearly everybody in Festac was rapping. Everybody wanted to be a rapper. But after a while, they found out that the girls loved boys that sing. So there was a group called Black Tribe. I remember sitting down with Blackface and Two-Face and we were talking. They're like, Mode, we're going to the studio. We're going to Jahoha studio to record Black Tribe. Do you want to come? No, I was like, yeah. I'm not doing anything. Went to Ajegule, Jahoha Studios to record Black Tribe. I think Two-Face produced it. Marvelous Benji was there. Shout out to Marvelous Benji. It was fun. Vocal Slender too was there. I think Vocal Slender was there. Yes, I think that's where we met. He was very young. He was very, very young. So, back in the day, man, we were all just trying to help each other. Nobody would say, hey, you have to pay me so I'll write this song for you. You have to pay me. No, like I say, I was there when Blackface wrote, Ogogoro be like woman. If you shock him, you go die. You go high, sorry. I was there when Blackface wrote that song. And no, I did not. I had zero input. I didn't give Blackface one word. He wrote everything. Let's make that clear. I'm not claiming to have I didn't co-write nothing. I was just there sitting down. First Avenue near Mr. Biggs. There's one place where they had trees. We used to just sit down. They used to sit down and smoke there. Blackface wrote that song there. Then after he finished writing, he got up and said, man, let's go to the crib. Got to the crib, played it for Two-Face. Two-Face heard it and was like, yeah. Two-Face was like, yeah. Then why I say they make the best team, they make the best team, these guys, they make the best team because Two-Face did not sing it the exact way that Blackface wrote it. He switched it up a little bit, added some little parts, took some parts off, he fine-tuned it. So they made a good team. They made a really good team. Trust me. We used to go to, and then I really, really cherish my time with all these guys because hanging out with these guys, even though SWAT Root was already recording stuff, SWAT Root's first studio session was 28 years ago in Ikeja. We're using AVI Studios in Ikeja before we started using Dolphin Studios in Surulere. And Solo D was the one that footed the bill. The person that pays for the studio session owns the track. In case you don't know now. The person that pays for the studio session owns the track. And we were SWAT Root back then. We were Aftermath. But then when Dr. Dre came out with Aftermath, we were like, if we tell people that we're Aftermath, they'll say, you guys stole it from Dr. Dre. So we had to change our name to SWAT Root. Sporadic words and tactics, rhyming on our terms. I think I got the sporadic words and tactics, and then LD came up with rhyming on our terms, if I'm correct. So yeah, we were SWAT Root already, but I was always around. I was around all these guys. Used to go to OJB studio, see people like Mr. Cool, see people like, what's this guy's name? Kenny Joseph. Is it Kenny Joseph? Kenny Joseph never liked me, man. I just got that vibe that he never liked me. He was a producer. He was always making fun of hardcore hip hop. Always cracking jokes, trying to join on people that do some real hip hop. He never liked me, and I didn't really think much of him because he didn't have that space in my brain. He wasn't living in my brain, so I didn't know whether to hate him or like him. You understand? It was LD Extra Large, bro. LD Extra Large, I was talking about our LD Extra Large, LD from Jos. So yeah, Kenny Joseph, the guy that produced Styley, he never really liked me. But there were a couple of people that I did really like. A Bounce, solid guy, man. A Bounce was cool. I remember meeting Rugged Man. I knew about Rugged Man from El Cream. Rest in peace, El Cream. I used to go to Akoka to visit El Cream. This was way after. This was way after 92. Way after. I used to go to Akoka to visit El Cream, and El Cream used to play some music. He played something for me. Rugged Man was rapping. He had a song called I'm Representing. A-K-O-K-A. I'm representing. You know? And that was dope, man. I'm representing. A-K-O-K-A. Which was dope. And then my earliest memories, man, was me sitting down in El Cream's crib. That time his sisters, he had many sisters, man, fine girls. So, Joe Kenny, the guy that produced Stallion. It's not Kenny Joseph, it's Joe Kenny. Kenny Joseph is another person, sorry, but it's Joe Kenny, the producer of Stallion, yeah. So yeah, for some strange reason, I just felt that he was hating on me. So, but it's all good, you know. Helped Naughty Pin out, did a verse for Naughty Pin, only for Naughty Pin to accuse me of biting all my rhymes, you know. But we sorted that out, you know. He apologized for it, so yeah, I'm not even mad at him. Sorted it out. So back then it was crazy, man. WAYZ was just a kid. See him at OJB studio, didn't even recognize him, man. Until somebody told me that WAYZ, yeah, that's the boy that used to be at OJB studio. I didn't even know, man. I was seeing a kid, but I didn't know it was him. And then, but the time I started knowing, okay, there's a guy called WAYZ, was back in the day, 2008, 9, when I used to go to Night House Studio to see my boy Rogba. I did a couple of recordings in Night House Studio. Shout out to Rogba. Shout out to all the other guys, Lanry. Shout out to Timmy Gomez. Shout out to all them cats. WAYZ used to come around a lot. He was all over. If you check Kel's first album, WAYZ was all over Kel's first album. Go and listen to Kel's first album. WAYZ was on a lot of songs. He even accosted Terry the Rap Man and said, Bros, can I jump on your mixtape? And yeah, Terry was like, okay, cool. Terry is an easygoing guy. So he's like, yeah, cool. He put WAYZ on a mixtape, on one of his mixtapes. So yeah, it was all love then. But I wasn't really hanging out there all the time because I was living in Lekki. I wasn't a mainland cat. So I come there every now and then. That's where we did, I just dropped an instrumental for Is This What You Want? Is This What You Want? For Mo Cheddar. She did it. I wasn't even there. I think DJ Clem was the one that, DJ Clem produced it and he got her to do the hook. And then I did my verse in my own little studio. Yeah, Corridor already knows the song. Ice Cream by Terry the Rap Man featuring WAYZ, hosted by DJ Jimmy Jack. Yep. So I'm just going all over the place. I remember when I first heard of X Appeal, that these guys were legends before the name legend, man. Jazzman Olofin and Lexi Do. They were legends before legend. Like, people used to talk about them. They had a song. Their first video that I saw on MBI was the song they did with Plantation Boys. It was dope. Don't mind me, I can't sing. So yeah, X Appeal, they did their thing, man, and they blew up, man. When they went their separate ways, both of them dropped hits. Both of them dropped hits. They dropped hits. And so back in the day, I'm just going back and forth. Who can we talk about now? Which artist? Blackie. Like I said this on one of my lives. I am the biggest Blackie fan. I am the biggest Blackie fan. Bro, I was the biggest Blackie fan. Don't know about now, but I was. Man. Using on the man. Him not like pussy. Him not like. He has a crazy song. Yeah. Shit and mess. I beg you, shit and mess. Everybody like to shit and mess. Me say me organize a messing contest. Which man mess is the best? And he had another song. Carry the gun, carry the gun, carry the gun. Gun, 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 carry the gun. See, I'm singing the ones that are not even popular. Then he had another one. Stop crying when you see the sugar stick. Because the sugar stick is 20 feet. Blackie. Yeah, whose house? Whose house is this? Blackie. Then he had, can I have a dance? Rosie, my friends are watching me. Rosie, them all laugh for me. I was a big Blackie fan. Like, I would go buy Blackie's cassettes. Right? Alex O, Alex Zito, Blackie, my God. Yeah. And Surulere. Terry's, yeah, that was Terry's in Surulere. That was a joint. I wasn't around that time. I think I was in the north then. I was spending too much time up north, honing my skills as a deadly MC up north. So man, we really had fun. We really had fun back in the day, man. Nobody was doing it for money. That time, if you see my shoe was dead. I remember Ayo Animashan one day, he was like, can you help me to go to Fame to give Faj, I think it's Faj or one of these guys, you know, give Faj this letter or something. And I was wearing slippers that day. You don't see me, I'm rugged now. I just ruggedly just go Fame. Listen, the look that this guy gave me, he looked me up and down. He just looked at me like I was toilet waste. He looked at me. Is that a Faj? I think it was Faj. He looked at me. Ever since that day, I've hated that guy. Then I learned that hate is powerful. Modenine, let it go. So I was just like, whatever. Years later, this will be a guy that will be writing about Modenine. Years later, he doesn't know that Modenine was that dusty kid that came into Fame. And he looked at me up and down like I was one animal. Man, that was hard, man. I would just do my bit for Hip Hop World then. And we used to wake up early in the morning and go and fight the vendors under the bridge. Me and Ayo Animashan. But hey, who wants to hear about those stories, man? Let's not. A lot of people won't want to say things like that. But it happened. I'm not lying. It happened. I'm just talking all over the place. But it was fun times back in the day. Fun times. Peace. Modenine sounded like very stop it. Peace.